Dinesh, and not so many powerful points you make. So these lawsuits against Trump, and you face this yourself, and we know what totalitarians do. So right now, they can't necessarily send them to Gulag Archipelago or Kolyma, but they can do the lawsuits. And in so doing, once you get that charge, once you get that felony or misdemeanor or whatever, or you got to do a little bit of time or a lot of time, whatever, you become, as you say, a slave and servant of the state. And then that way they grab you and control you. So they thought that they could shut you up by doing that in terms of what they tried to do through the legal realm. Same with Trump. This is a way they try to make a person a slave and to shut them up, right?
Absolutely. I mean, when I had my campaign finance violation, which was trying to help out a friend, and I exceeded the campaign finance limit, normally they'd be like, okay, community service, maybe a fine. But very interestingly, one of the elements of my sentence was psychological counseling. Now, why? I mean, normally psychological counseling is given when the crime is so inexplicable. Like I'm Jeffrey Dahmer, I put bodies in the refrigerator. It's like, what made you do that? You need a counselor to get to the bottom of this. But in my case, I think quite clearly this judge named Berman was sentencing me to counseling because his point was he wanted me to see the kind of error of my ideological ways.
Mm.
And had I come out, for example, on the left and I've seen the light, and by the way, some of the January 6th defendants, this happened to them. They were beaten down by their own public defender attorneys and sometimes by therapists so that they essentially repudiated their previous convictions meaning beliefs, and came basically begging to the judge saying, I was misled. The Trump people, sold me a bill of goods. So this is the kind of indoctrination that is a staple, as you know, of authoritarian, totalitarian societies. We have a modified version of it here, but it's not fundamentally anything different.
Soviet style psychiatry creeping in, right? So in the Soviet Union with Bukovsky and what Alexander Ginsburg and all the dissidents, told us, they try to put you on those meds and force feed you with, God knows what. And now you were experiencing the same thing. And they love these, labels too of crazy and all this other stuff.